Internets. This is me, DP Knudten, and welcome to Bookward Bound. Another exciting episode of this quest toward world domination via a new book that I'm planning to have ready for publication on January 1st, 2020. Or 2020. What am I talking about? 2021. That's what happens when a notification pops in right out of the corner of your eye as you're talking live to camera, well, which I am doing right now. So anyway, what is this whole thing about? Well, it's called Bookward Bound because it literally is documenting my 301-day journey from I should really do this to done when it comes to the book that I want to write called NonFiction Brand, Discovering, Crafting, and Communicating the Completely True, Completely You brand that you already are. Well, that's the title anyway. At least I got that part done. Now this is about the rest of it, getting the rest of it done. And it's actually quite a slog working on this book. And I've promised myself and you, internet audience, that I'm going to be doing 301 consecutive live streams where I actively move my book forward in one form or another. So tonight I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Scrivener. Now, if you've watched previous episodes of this, you've seen me use a tool called iThoughts for mind mapping and outlining the book. And I love that tool. And you can watch like the one I did last night or the night before or anything like that so you can see how mind mapping works. But for now, I'm going to jump into Scrivener, which is an application that I use for actually writing the book and configuring the book. Not necessarily the fine designing of the book, but the general configuration of it, like how many pages, all that stuff. So I'm going to go right to that by opening up and showing you what Scrivener is. Bring my beautiful face down in the corner. There I go. Get myself more or less centered. This is Scrivener over here. And you can see I've already written some stuff in one of my sections called What's Your Key 3? And I kind of left it hanging down here, a cliffhanger. You have a Key 3, or it's a question. You have a Key 3 for your personal or small business brand? Well, you should. The same way that a certain soft drink, let's not call it soft drink, beverage, does to keep it distinctly different than their competitors. Your Key 3 concepts can make sure you're always heading in the right direction, no matter the temporary conditions. I want to say something. There's a tendency when creating such foundational what do I want to call it? Foundational foundational What is it? What is the Key3? It's a foundational such. There's a tendency when creating such foundational foundational. Oh, this is where I use another writerly tool called Dictionary. Now, I'm a Mac user, so I make use of the Mac's innate or included dictionary all the time. So one of the things there is the English thesaurus. So foundational, what do I want to say? Foundational statements. And just by looking up there, foundational, I've got any number. I got to size this up so you guys can actually see it. Oh, it doesn't get bigger. All right, so I'm looking for another word for foundational something. It's kind of like affirmation, foundational affirmations. There's a tendency when creating such affirmations to make them all wonderful. What do I mean? When's an example? How a question? A question. How many tech manufacturers use the word innovation, innovated to describe the way they do business? Question mark. Guessing somewhere north of, I don't know, let's say 80%. And higher. Why? Because tech and innovation are synonymous in most minds. But many, seriously many, tech companies are about as innovative as a copy machine. Innovative as a let's leave copy machine as a copy machine. If such a tech company were completely true about who they were, who they are, what they do, and how they do it, comma, some would have Key 3 like this. Fast follower. Hey man, hey Dan, do you have someone lined up to write the foreword to your book? No, because I'm trying to move my book forward. That might happen somewhere down the road, but I will admit that I think I have enough people of a stature that I would love to have do a foreword like that who might actually write it for me. That's my hope, but mostly I got. So yes, a foreword is definitely planned for the book, but I'm not worrying about that at all until I write a book worthy of a foreword. My goal is to get it in the hands of someone that I don't think would do it, and that they read the book, they like it so much that they go, oh man, I'll totally write a foreword. You know, so yes, I see it, I want to do it, but I want to keep my eyes on the prize, which is write a book worthy of a foreword by a notable individual. Make sense, Dan? I know you get it. All right. No. I don't know. God, I look kind of small in that circle. Oh, whatever. Fast follower. 80% of 100% is good, and price is not key. Price is key, and fast follower, 80% of 100% is good. Price is paramount. How about that? Paramount. Because let's be honest here. If what you're really doing is ripping off what Apple does, but aiming for a price point at least $200 cheaper, innovative, you are not. Another, your Key 3 should be as unique to you as your DNA. We humans share a great deal of DNA, parentheses, and from what I hear, so do chimpanzees. I want to look up that number. I think we share 96% of our DNA with chimpanzees, something like that. something like, I'm just going to plug in 96%, but I'm probably going to do it as, XX%. So do chimpanzees, something like that. It's the things in, I want to go, in marketing ourselves and our small businesses it's the little but true things that make all the difference. For rentiating ourselves from the countless others doing the exact same thing. We are like me. I am generically a writer. And if I don't watch out, I could be generic. I could easily become a generic. I could easily become a writer. Writer of generic, conventional wisdom, like so many others. But I have a key 3 to constantly cajole, guide, chastise, and inspire me. So, what 3 concepts, words, phrases, or any combination thereof make up my unique key 3? I'm going to go creative, collaborative, provocative. And keeping in mind that I'm styling headlines a little differently by going 14 point, bold. I'm going to pop that up and then write more about it. So you can see over this writing period, I think I started it out with this somewhere around 500 words or 600 words. I've now effectively doubled that. Thank you, Scrivener, for keeping a running tally of how many words I've written. And this is turning into an interesting, hold on, I don't need to do this. An interesting little section here. And frankly, I can't spend a lot of time on this tonight because I have to go pick up my mother at the airport because she's finally getting back into Wisconsin after being down around South America, stuck on a cruise ship. And she's like, oh, we got an extra free week on the cruise ship, while the rest of us at home are going, Mom, just get home, would you? She's like, oh, no, we didn't. And we didn't have to even pay for it. Yeah, so she's been having a great time on a cruise ship while her sons and daughter are kind of going, for crying out loud, Mom. You know, coronavirus, it's going to pick off one of us. Maybe. Let's knock on wood and say no, but if it did, you're the prime candidate. So anyway, I need to get to the airport to pick her up, and still, I was able to come on live talking to you, talking to myself, and moving my book forward a little bit more. And again, I thought when I started this, I didn't know if these live streams were going to be 15 minutes, half an hour, 2 hours, 8 hours. Well, put it this way. I knew they weren't going to be 8 hours because as a writer, I'm not an 8-hour writer. I can't do that. Isaac Asimov, the most prolific writer of all time, wrote for at least 8 to 12 hours every single day. Isaac Asimov, I am not. And nor do I want to be. However, I do want to keep moving my book forward. And so making this commitment to you, gentle viewer, has been incredibly helpful because before I came down to do this tonight, I was sitting upstairs kind of going, it's been a long day. We're in the midst of this emotional maelstrom called COVID-19. And kind of the last thing I wanted to do was come down here and actually work on this beast until I started working on this beast. And now I'm like, I kind of like where I got tonight. I think it needs to be a little bit better, but I at least moved it forward. I've chipped away up that big stone that Sisyphus pushes up the hill and it rolls right back down. I'm taking that flake that I just chipped off and I'm marching up to the top of that hill and I'm putting it down because there are two ways to get that stone up the hill. Roll it and have it keep rolling down, or chip it apart, grab that chip, and walk it up to the summit. I'm chipping away, baby. And I encourage you to do that as well for any big, hairy, audacious task that you've set yourself to. So thank you for helping me with keep my commitment to do the live stream. Thank you for watching BOOKWARD BOUND, 301 days from I really think I should do this to done. And I'll see you tomorrow if you're so inclined. Because you know where I'm going to be. Typically around this time of night, because that's about the time after dinner where I figure, okay, slog away at the book somehow. And so I come down here, I do it, and then I start getting excited again. So I'm DP Knudten for the NonFiction Brand podcast. Episode 83 is out today, available wherever you get your fine podcasts for free. It features Jerry-Ann Wiesbrook of Military Mama Network, which is a Facebook group with like 20,000 plus members in their main group. But they also have like 100 subgroups associated with it. And it's a fantastic group that supports serving men and women who are out there in the field, either here domestically or internationally abroad, serving in our armed forces. And it's all about supporting them. They aren't the type who just say, thanks for your service. They go out there and they actually make a difference in the lives of servicemen and women, wherever they happen to be serving, and their families who are not serving but sacrificing right here at home. So if you have anybody who's in the armed forces or associated with the armed forces or married to a service member, have them check out Military Mama Network on Facebook. It's a private group, but they can ask to join it. But they have to adhere to the operational security of the group. And anyone who actually has been in the armed services knows what OPSEC is. Well, believe me, Jerry Ann will be on you like a hornet's nest if you don't follow the DoD guidelines on OPSEC. Cool episode. Check it out. Jerry Ann, love her. Jerry Ann Wiesbrook is someone I would invite you to follow online because she's doing some really incredible stuff, especially when it comes to building communities. That's it for me tonight. Again, I'm DP Knudten. Listen to the podcast. Join NonFiction Brandversity, the free Facebook group, my Facebook group, if you're so inclined. It's absolutely free. Just search NonFiction Brandversity on Facebook. Ask to join. Answer 3 questions to prove you're not a bot, and you are in. And it's all about stuff like this, building your personal brand so that you can be distinguished, so you can step out of the shadows and into your own personal spotlight. Oh, my God, that's a T-shirt. I got to write that down. I'll talk to you guys later. Take us on out, theme song.